So let me ask you a question, okay? For these lunatics that say I stole my mother's house and all this crazy stuff, right? Okay. So how many times did I steal her house? Because I owned a house, if you look it up, in 2005, right? I owned the house for $503,000. I purchased it. Okay, which that one was in my name and my wife's name. Okay, my wife at the time, God bless her, was healthy. Okay, this is Nighthawk Lane in Jackson. I forget the exact address, but the point is, I bought the house for $503,000. So was that my mother's money? Was that my father's money? Okay. When I was 21 years old, I had an office in the Empire State Building. When I was like 21 years old. Like, you look it up. It's Amazing Ideas. It was called. That was the name of the company. I was on the 40th floor, 4005. I had an office next to some of the most successful people in New York City. Was that my father's money? Was that my parents' money? Okay. Now, remember how they always bring up this thing about the SEC with the cease and desist order? Okay. Yes, I did have an option. Listen to me. On $1.8 million worth of oceanfront land that was zoned for a casino hotel development. 1.8 million. Was that my father's money? Was that my mother's money? Okay. I could go on and on and on. Okay. So apparently I've been making money my whole life, right? Okay. But yet it's always somehow my parents' money. It's not my money. Did it maybe ever occur to you that, like, it's my money? I've earned it. I've worked for it. I've been working in sales for over 20 years, you friggin' coconut Mameluke stunads. Okay. Did you ever think that maybe I had reasons that I put it in my mother's name because of my wife? I don't want to get into it. I mean, you people are all nuts. Do you think, okay, if you knew anything about my mother, let's talk about my mother or my father, okay? For my mother to get, and I love her, listen, now you know I love my mother with all my heart and my soul, but for my mother to give me like $100 should be screaming. She doesn't have money. She lives on the Social Security, very small. That's it, and a very small pension that she gets because she worked in the Board of Education. I'm the one who has to pay the majority of my mother's bills because she simply does not have enough money to survive. So now knowing this, do you really think my mother could come up with $150,000 down payment for a house? Do you really believe this? If my mother, I gotta get my wife later to confirm. If my mother gave me $50, she was rich, you think you can give it back to me because I need it? I got paid it. I'm like, I love you, don't worry about it. You think my mother's gonna give me $150,000? Large? And my father, listen, my father and my mom were divorced. I don't want to get into anything personal. They didn't have a good marriage. I didn't really have such a great childhood. I don't want to get personal, but let's just say my father decided to not leave me and my mother dilly. And anyone in my family knows this. Anyone, if you go speak to anyone on the Lavoie side, or if you go speak to anyone on my mother's side, they all know it. My father loved his grandchildren. It was his wishes to leave his estate to Michael and Sophia. So neither me nor my mother benefited. That's it. That's the bottom line. So you could all think whatever you want. You could all fantasize with Vera and all of his 20 fake accounts. Okay? You could all fantasize. But here's what the reality is. Everything I have, I earned. That's it. And I am a great husband, a great father, and a great son. That's the bottom line. Keep fantasizing. Keep, you, Tendie Time. Yeah, I stole my children's inheritance. He goes, there's proof. There's online. You click on a link and you'll see. Oh, you know what the link is? The link says that there's a probate open in Florida where my children are the beneficiaries of my father's trust. That's the link that he's talking about, this friggin' mongoloid. Oh, there's proof online. He stole the children's inheritance. The only proof is that everything you eat, Tendie Time, is with dirt in it. You understand? If your wife makes you pasta, she puts dirt in it. If your wife makes you a hero sandwich, she puts dirt in it. God only knows, even when maybe, I don't want to get personal, you might even roll around together in dirt. Okay? So that's the only thing, that's a fact. is that your whole life consists of dirt.